Well, boys and girls, the vendor rung me and said, I've got a wow car. Well, he didn't actually use the word wow, but he said, I've got a really nice one. And he said, would you handle it for me? And I said, is it a really nice one? He says, yeah, it is. He says, you'll see when I come down with it. And yeah, it's a really nice one. It's obviously restored car, of course it is, obviously. Let's face it, 99 out of 100. No, 999 out of 1,000 of these are a fully restored car. I've only been lucky enough to handle one extremely nice unrestored car. That was last year, if you remember, which went on and I think probably broke a record, I would think, within the RS2000 movement. But anyway, attention to detail is what I like. Little bits like that, little bits like that. That was on as soon as I opened the door, which is normally missing. Rubbers. The attention to detail is sort of in the I'm just going to pull that forward. There we go. It's sort of in the area that somebody like a professional restorer, like perhaps Paul Linfoot with the RS500s, you know, let's face it, Paul knows those cars inside out, upside down, and I often call on him for a bit of advice because he's extremely experienced with the car. And he likes attention to detail. He's a master of it, isn't he? So, and it reminds me of the type of restoration that Paul would undertake, perhaps with the RS500s. I feel, anyway, that's my opinion. As I'm going to say at the end of this video, you come down and make your own mind up, but that's my opinion. Look at that. It almost wants a clear bonnet. It wants a see-through bonnet, really. Yeah. If you remember, we had an extremely nice pair sat in that corner, funny enough, probably 2 years ago, a green one and an orange one. The orange one I put on a lift, and I might even do that. We've got one of those wheel-about lifts. I may even carefully do that with this car, because you wait and see underneath here. You think it's good on the top, you have a look underneath here. Look at that. Yeah. Try and get underneath there for you, look. Incidentally, those shocks weren't backing off, they're set too hard. I just saw Paul bringing it in. And he said, yeah, it dries well. He said, but its suspension's hard. I said, no, I was going to tell you that. I said, I could see it was hard. Just by you driving it down the road. And I'm glad to see that she's got some gas GAZ, like I've just put them on mine, some gas adjustables. There's your adjuster. Can you see at the bottom of your, on the bottom of your shock there, look, they weren't backing off. Yeah, they're too hard. But yeah, look at that. So I think we could potentially have another record breaker, to be honest with you. Now I know the movement has softened a little bit, it has, and I get asked this question on a regular basis. People say, you know, are prices dropping down? See that sunroof? Yeah, I tell you what they're doing. The simple question to that is, I wish I hadn't started just now with one hand. I'll leave that, you can't do it with one hand. The simple answer to that question would be yes. But the full answer to that question, are prices dropping? It's a bit more long-winded. They're not dropping for the wow star cars, because people know they've got to buy them when they come up, because it could be another couple of years or more before they get the opportunity again. And they're not dropping, they're just, what they're doing, Fortunately, for I think the movement, maybe not so much the vendors, but certainly for the movement as a whole, they've just settled back down to where they were pre-COVID. Now, COVID came along, and for whatever reason, I don't know, everything went bush, didn't it? You know, you couldn't buy this, you couldn't get that. Dogs, puppies went through the roof, didn't they? You know, if you wanted to buy a spaniel, it was £5,000 to buy a dog. Everything just went crazy, including everything in our industry. It just went whoosh. So what's happening, which made it a little bit artificial, it's a little bit like the property scenario, isn't it? You know, the boom and bust thing, unless you're so lucky and you time it right, is no good for anyone, is it? The longevity, no good. So what's happening is prices are just starting to soften and return to where they were during what we call that silly season, which really festers the argument. I suppose it's more of a buyer's market now to a great extent. You know, you can get more for your money, simple as that. But anyhow, but there you go. You've got to jump on these things, haven't you, when they come up. So I'll leave that there with you. I haven't looked at the number of photographs, but I guided young Jack. He's coming on leaps and bounds, young Jack, and I said, Jack, like loads of photographs, all the usual bits, Jack, this and that and the other, pointed all to do it, and he would have done, I'm sure. So there's going to be a bundle of photographs. There's also my little appraisal here. Apologies for the waffling on. But the next step is to come down and make sure you're happy. And please do. In fact, I insist you do. Come down, make sure you're happy with it.